Yay!
Hi! Yay!
Thank you, Sarah, for joining me on this
Thank you.
beautiful journey.
Yes, thank you for having me. I love
Yeah.
tarot. I'm
Uh-huh.
excited.
Do you have your tarot cards?
I do, of
You
course.
do. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card and you pull a card, and then that'll set the energy of the thread, okay?
Okay, sounds
We're going
good.
to go till 4 o'clock, and we'll pull a card for everybody who attends, like that we can up until that time. And if we skip you, you got to let us know. And then we'll just pull a card for you, and everything will be righteous. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm shuffling as well.
Me too. Yay. Okay. All right, I'm ready to pull a card. Let me ask you, top or bottom?
Bottom.
Okay. Ooh, and let me see what the top one would have been. Oh, fucking course. Okay, so a lot of change going on right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's a tower moment.
Yes.
Everybody's in the freaking tower right now. Don't you think so?
Oh my goodness. I love the tower.
Right? It's
Yeah.
change whether you like it or not. It's going to happen. It
Mhm.
is it is a meaningful descent into the hell that you think you are.
But change is inevitable, and it's the only way to be able to learn and work through it and then move past it, right?
Right? That's what I
Yeah.
think too. That's what I think too. I think
Yes.
that takes a lot. What card you get?
I got the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, right on. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like even though we're focused on providing for family, we still need to understand that it is that we're doing that we're doing from love, right? So not
Yeah.
to set that aside and forget that too, right?
Right.
Even though we're sitting really nice.
And with the tower and this card together, the 10 of Pentacles, when you are open to changing and shifting your mindset and doing something new, you have a lot of success that you can help your family or whatever it is you're needing to do. You're able to do it with more mindfulness, right? Not being
Yes,
blocked.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I see that we have like a viewer. If you want to go ahead and check in, we'll pull a card for you. But that's the only way we can. You have to like put your name or say hi or something or an emoji, preferably a kind emoji. So when you guys arrive and you're just starting, no matter what platform you're on, there's going to be a slight lag, and we understand that. So all you have to do is put an emoji or a heart or something like that. Okay, Catherine, let's pull a card for Catherine.
All right, Catherine, let's do this. We're each going to pull one, right?
Nope, you pull one this
I
time.
pull one. Okay.
Okay.
Miss Catherine, we have a Six of Wands. So we have a victory card. So a lot of action that you've been going through, anything that you've been putting into something, you're going to become victorious because you've been putting that foundations in place. So we have a lot of actionable victory. So this is great. So if you haven't already seen it, you're going to see it soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Blessings. Okay. So this one is for Sherry. Hi, Sherry. I know, right? Yay.
Yay!
This one is for Sherry, and Sherry is on YouTube with us. And this
Hi,
is the
Sherry.
Eight of Swords. Okay.
Ooh.
So the Eight of Swords is like you feel like you're in limitation, but it is a story that's in your head. It is a mindset. The idea is to start looking in a gratitude way at your surroundings and start to accumulate through recognition a physical sense of how you've been blessed, and then go into your esoteric, spiritual that way, and
Yeah.
that will take you out of your head. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting, is that like meditation will be nice, but your meditation has a lot of duality in it. There's this big expansion. You're also in this cycle, this loop. And I would just suggest that you step out of your mind for a second and give yourself a rest, reset, and then go ahead and rethink or ask for another perspective,
Yeah.
another perception. And I think that that will help you. And you're in a really good space. So anytime the poppy comes up, the poppy is telling you that abundance is there. You have Gemini right here, and you have Jupiter. Jupiter's in Gemini right now. Anyway, so this is a right now card. So all of the lines that you've been drawing, eights are about success. So as long as you are in alignment with your thoughts, it will be okay. But you are headed in the right direction. If it is beneficial to you, it's the detrimental, diminishing, limiting thoughts that this card is suggesting that you can let go of. Many blessings.
Perfect. Yay.
Great. So who's next? Who else?
I love that these teach lessons. These teach lessons. Gives
Right?
advice. Great
I
advice.
think so. I love it. I like tarot.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with it.
Is there anybody else?
You too, Shay. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Oh, there we go. Hi. I went away for a second. Sorry.
That's all right. All right. So we do have 3 viewers. There's 2 people that have been read. If you guys are observing and you'd like a card, go ahead and make a comment and we'll pull a card for you and leave you great benefit. We have another few minutes. You're welcome, Catherine. Have a great day. You're welcome to go ahead and apply any of the readings that are used, because the thread is usually a set point. So we're all going through the Tower moment right now. And it is the 10 of Pentacles. And those are the 2 cards that we pulled at the very beginning. So all of our material wealth, the way that we look at it, it is the retrograde that we're healing that is allowing us to understand that we can dial back our old style, and we can introduce a different style. And that is what this particular retrograde is all about, is just releasing what it was and moving into what it could be.
Yes.
And I feel that we're good as far as people online right now. And because it looks like there's nobody viewing, now there's 1 person viewing. We'll see. The reason is that if we go too long, we'll just call it and that'll be fine.
Okay.
But I really like the Tower moment and the 10 of Pentacles right now. It's really speaking to how Mercury went retrograde while in Virgo. Now it's in Leo. And it's just, what it does is it's in the process of illumination. And because it started in Earth, it's about the material wealth. So that's why everything feels like it's falling apart in what you think your norm is for like society, because there is not that anymore. So trying to wrap your mind around where you think it is a very difficult situation. So you really have to let go of what it was and then say, what does it look like now? Just what is this? And then start determining and redesigning and talking about it in that way. But that's what I see a lot of right now. What about you, Sarah?
Oh my gosh, I'm in it right now. I'm in the I'm in the tower. I am a lot of shifting, a lot of adjusting, and it seems scary at first because it's the unknown when you're jumping into the unknown. But I've learned to just embrace it and accept it, and I know that there's a lesson learned from it, and it's going to help me be able to reevaluate, because whatever I was in, I've grown out of it. And I need to recognize that I've grown out of it. I'm ready to move on, and I'm ready to embrace a whole new chapter of me, or a new being, a new way of being, right? And the old way of being it maybe have worked before, but it's no longer working for me anymore. So I have to
only bits and pieces work now.
Right. So now I'm just reevaluating things and going, how can I work through this, and what can I do to better make this a better, easier flow and learning, so that way I'm not stuck in that. I call it the hamster wheel of detriment. You're stuck in that cycle that you can't get out.
So
in the
to jump out aspects,
it's uncomfortable, but it's better when you get out of it.
Oh, Cody. Okay. Thanks, Cody. All right. So do you want to pull for Cody?
Sure. I'll pull for
Okay, great.
can't talk. I'll pull for Cody. All right, Cody, let's do this. Let me shake this up a little bit. Let's get a fresh, clean pull. And here we go. Cody. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands.
Oh, okay.
So the Queen of Wands is a lot of intuitions and going inside and having control of your emotions and yourself. But when you're taking the action, whatever action that you need to do, you listen to yourself and you know that you have it in you to be able to move forward in the direction that you're looking. So just making sure that you're looking inside, not looking outside in your mind, look inside. That's the Queen and the action that you're putting in. So whatever you're working on right now, you're going to be listening to yourself to be able to move forth in that. And you're going to do that with a lot of, you're going to feel like you have the control in your endeavor, whatever it is that you're working on doing or looking at doing. How do you feel about that, Lucinda?
I like that. And okay, Cody, it could apply to your spiritual gifts. If you're already reading for other people, then your intuition is heightened in this sense. And when retrogrades happen, it feels as though you're able to move into a little bit of self-motivation. You're not quite in that king position to where you can really just barrel out and do what it is that you would like. I would say that, like, I know everybody has gifts. So when you say my spiritual gifts, I can confirm that you have gifts. All right. How you read them or use them or apply them, if they're unknown to you, right, is simply how you describe your world. That's how you find out if you have gifts. So for me, when she pulled that card, right, the card, like, I split my deck. And so the two cards were the Four of Wands and the Ace of Swords. That let me know that since she had like a trump card, so that's archetypal energy. So you're supposed to pull that energy in if you're not already. So you have to be a little bit more self-motivating. It is. Oh, okay. And so do you heal? It feels like you heal. So if you were to, it feels like you heal people. Like people come to you and they talk to you, and then you put your hand on their shoulder, and there's just like a lot of interaction in a very loving way. And so that's healing. You're healing in a way. That's what that feels like.
That's beautiful.
These are new ideas, right? So new ideas, new ways of thinking about who you are, building stronger foundations, the Four of Wands. And it is a really good foundation that you are building. Right, it's a foundation that you're building. And I would say that the ideas, although they're new to you, usually when we learn a modality or we open up to a modality, it could be prana, reiki, Muay, it could be like any energetic modality that allows you to plug into a greater volume of energy to channel. That is going to show you both items. It'll show you like contrast and appreciation or benevolent benefit. Okay. And you're the pole. So you're having the experience. You're going to have the contrast, and you're also going to have the beautiful acceptance and moving forward. And I really see. Right. And so if you can decipher the difference between your energy and somebody else's energy, then that gives you a leg up. You can keep yourself clear. So yeah, so if you're just beginning, you seem like you're really well on the way.
I
Thank
had a
you.
hard time with that, with
Oh,
deciphering
really?
what's my energy. Yeah, for a while I had a hard time, and now I'm more aware of that. And I would tell myself, this doesn't belong to me. Because I would wonder why. I'm like, why am I feeling these things? Like, my life's fine, everything's good. And it took me a while to remember that. And that's creating your foundations. You're creating your world that you work with, and you can't build a house on sand. So whatever you're doing to build your healing world that you're helping others, it's understanding what is you, what is not you. That took me a while to figure out. So that's great. I love that. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Right. And it
Yeah.
looks like we still have viewership. So if there's somebody else who'd like a card, we're more than willing to open and pull another card. We have a few more minutes. It's up to you guys. Thank you so much, Cody, for
Thank you,
waiting.
Cody.
Okay, so we have platonic tendencies. All right. Okay, so it's my turn to pull a card, right? Okay.
Good.
Let's see. Platonic tendencies. So you know what? When the name came up, I was thinking to myself, I go, "Oh wow, they're really deep in." You're very welcome, Cody. Very welcome. It's the platonic tendencies, right? When it first showed up, I was like, "Ooh, Pluto energy, a lot of Pluto energy," and because we're in that shift of Aquarius, and Pluto is in retrograde in Aquarius in September, it'll go back into Capricorn. Right now, it's really pulling at 0 degrees in an amplification down into your emotions, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. So I'm good. I'm good. But like when I read that, I was like, oh man. So you're probably, yes, a lot of Pluto energy for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a card. And I think that this is going to be more communication than anything else. That's what I'm intimating from it. So in that, I'm being led to let you know that the Plutonian energy, right, is is able to mix with Venusian energy, with that self love of thought and feeling, right? Thought and feeling, and allowing yourself to have different archetypes to work with
Yeah.
in your everyday, right? Because Pluto, if it depends on like where what your signs are and stuff and how it's affecting you in the transits. Right now, it's affecting everyone.
Mhm.
If you live in what's called the United States, then you're in a Pluto return. All right, you're in the country return right now, and we're being called to carpet for our actions, and so that's why it'll last about 16 years. It started like maybe 2 years ago, and it just started to like crest and be all happy and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But Pluto is about deeper truths, finding what your deeper truths are, and learning that you're interconnected with everyone and consciousness is a guide. And if you are a Scorpio or an Aquarian, or if you have any of those risings, or if you have any Capricorn energy in your charts, this is going to be something that's really going to be affected and highlighted during this particular transit, because it is pulling backwards towards. So it's going to feel magnetic, and it's going to feel like it's pulling you in.
Mhm.
And it is. That's what it's supposed to do right now. Aries with Virgo rising. That's great. Yes. So this Mercury retrograde for you is very, very telling, right? And if you're working with a lot of water energy from Pluto, then and you're in Aries, that's really good. I think it's really good because you're developing your belief systems. You're not going with status quo. There's no norm for you. It's like very accepting of other people's beliefs. So that really opens you up. Pluto's in Scorpio, hell yeah. So a lot of transformation for you. The moon card is your friend, right? The moon is your friend all the time, right? So I would say, I would say that this is like a pretty good way to go, right? Okay, so here, let me go ahead and pull a card for you, okay? Oh, okay. So new thoughts, right? I would say that because we're in that 0 degrees of Aquarius with Pluto, right? And it's in retrograde, since Pluto's in retrograde, that this is really bringing you into a reset of thoughts, like whether or not you're able to allow yourself to yeah, I'm sure. Whether or not you can allow yourself to tell a different story. Like, can you allow the experience to be as it is? And then can you describe it in an observational way, right? And if you cannot, then you're still in the experience. You need to honor that. You really need to honor that, oh, wow, I'm still in this moment. And
Yeah.
I need to allow the charge to drop, right? And it will literally feel physical, and it'll drop from your head when you give your energy a chance to behave the way that you're telling it to or asking it to, right? It will do that. It
Mhm.
We have so many thoughts, nano thoughts, right? So it's like pew 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 pew. So just allowing yourself to sit in the charge and just let it drop for a second, right? That will help, right? And what's happening for most of us right now is that all of our triggers from childhood, all of the conditioning, it's the age of misinformation right now. We're finding out that we were given um, a particular conditioned, digestible story so that we would behave a certain way. And now it's being torn all apart. And in that ripping or sundering, whatever it is that you want to call it, we're all having those tower moments in what we thought were very defined beliefs. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the beauty of it because it's opening in such a way as to create a cohesiveness in our consciousness. There might be people who are feeling like timelines are collapsing around them, right? And it might feel like uh, a lot of times what it'll feel like is like the energy will feel around you like, oh, that just shifted, and it will make something disappear from your life that once was. And we're going through a lot of that right now, like a shit ton.
Yeah.
Swear a lot, but that's what we're going through. We're learning that we are the darkest bits and pieces of who we are, and we're coming into that illumination. We're saying, oh yeah, I can be a dick, I can really be mean, and I can be this, and that can be done to me, and oh wow, I can experience that too. And then the high charges that come from those experiences at different ages, right? And learning not to transfer them to other people. So that keeps us really crunchy, like crunchy energy. And that crunchy energy is just the dissonance of knowing that you have those capabilities and you haven't integrated them yet, to where like you're not accepting. You're like, oh, I don't want to be that way. I don't want
Right.
anybody to think I'm that way. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want anybody to know that about me. And so, well, your Pluto in Scorpio is really going to challenge you then in a lot of your life. But you know what? It's always change you want. Okay, it's always change you want. That's what we don't recognize, is that we've asked for the change. We'll be in an experience and we will fine tune it, we'll call it. We'll be like, oh, I really like this. I like this luxury suite, and I like how they do this and they turn this down, and I love how my clothes are ironed, and I love how this is done, and oh, this is really nice. And wouldn't it be nice to also have? Now we're introducing something that isn't there. And anytime you're thinking that way, no matter how beautiful it is, you're still introducing a distortion into the field that you're experiencing, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so like that's just how that is. And then we
Yeah.
transition from that. But what I want to get back to is that you're really beautiful at change. And I would say that you have a methodology to it. And I would also say that if you could give yourself grace in the way that you say that you can be accepting of change, right? Because you accept all of the change when you're ready, and you're ready when you surrender. So when you surrender to the change, that's when you want it. And when you want it, that's when it happens. And so we fight it because, or resist is an easier word, right? We resist what we've asked for because we have self-worth issues. We have old stories that tell us that we cannot have something. And when we move in that energy, and then we learn that we can have something, that we can accept change, that's that register for us. We're still the middle of the pole, so it would be platonic tendencies, right? And then contrast and benefit, and you're seeing both. And so a lot of times we'll land in contrast because we're starting in need. I would like to have this. So we're recognizing that we're lacking a part of something in an experience. So we start in contrast. So we try to fix that, or we try to write that. So we try to insert the physical aspect that we're asking for. So depending on how we decide we want to move forward when we learn that we want something new, is how we're able to navigate that shift. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's where, yes, that's right. Real peace when we truly surrender. I love chaos. I used to tell people that I do well in chaos, and right now the world is chaos. So that's good that you have those qualities. Many blessings, and there's your ace of swords.
Thank you. Yes.
So a lot of air too.
Yeah.
And then we have Michael. We have
My,
Michael, and then we have Wake Up Everybody. Yes, I'm loving these handles. This is the best. Okay, so you're gonna pull a card from Michael.
okay.
Michael, son.
All right. Here we go.
Oh man, this has been really harsh for you then. 16 years, and then Pluto's gonna come back and just hammer you again. Hammer you again, hammer you again.
So we
Oh,
have the
people
Page of
interacting with you
Swords.
is
Page of
ooh,
Swords. So another air sign. So in the mind. And that's
more air
kind of a
energy
new
for
beginnings of
the earth
a
sign.
new
Yeah.
mindset, moving towards a new mindset. So that's pretty cool, right? We're working towards a new start. He's the page is could be a younger person, maybe a message is coming, or but yeah, I mean, in your whatever your mind, where your mind is at, we're going to start shifting into a different mindset. So that's exactly what you've been talking about this whole time. Yes. So has there been any? I don't have the I can't read what anybody's writing, but I'm
He
not
said,
sure.
"Ah, thank you."
Okay, does that make so? I want to make sure that was kind of in alignment. So yeah,
It resonates.
resonates. Perfect.
And do you feel that action is called for? A little bit of action, like maybe some self care in a loving way, doing
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that are physical for yourself, right?
yes,
Like
always. Because if you're not feeling,
romantic walks,
I
like falling in love with yourself all over again. That's what that
yeah,
really feels. That really feels like that as well.
yeah. I'm always embracing making sure that you're good for yourself. So if you're good for you, then you can move forward and be good for other people that need you. So yeah, taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your mind, taking care of your heart, taking care of all of it. That's important. So
Yeah, a
making
lot of
sure you're doing.
foundational energy from this.
What's
That's what
that?
I'm. A lot of foundational energy from this. Like
Yes.
even though it's situational, like really looking at it, it's situational. It isn't like a life lesson that you have to learn that's going to keep coming back. It's more like a situation's presenting itself, and you're being called on because like you're accountable, right? Like this
Mhm.
accountable, like Michael's accountable, and so in that it allows you to maybe step into more of what you would like to do. You do have a voice. It felt for a minute like you didn't have a voice, like you didn't know if you had a voice in the situation, but you do. Yeah, and I feel a lot of love. I feel like a lot of healing and a lot of love from that situation, wherever it is that you're at. That's what I get for looking. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We have Dupree, and then we also have Wake Up Everybody. Okay. So let's do Wake Up Everybody. That was the first. Okay. And then Gemini Sun. Ooh, Gemini Sun. I'll pull a card for you, Gemini Sun. Right on. I laugh because I have a Gemini Sun. Not
Oh,
me as a Gemini, but my son is Gemini, and that's why I was
oh,
laughing. Okay, it's just a quirky thing in my head right now. I'm surrounded by Geminis. I love Gemini. I love Gemini energy with the beautiful Jupiter in expansive moods, right? Across the board for Gemini right now. I think Gemini is really experiencing a growth spurt of like a vitality growth
mhm.
spurt where like your creative juices are really just kicking in and that you're just really wanting to do something that's very expressive. And yeah, I would definitely encourage you to do that. I would encourage you to, if you're not already doing some kind of art project, I'm seeing some sort of expression with your hands, not necessarily crafting as much as like something very meaningful. It could be painting. It feels as though you're able to express the world around you through what it is that you're doing. That I'm sensing. Okay, and then here's your card. Ooh, okay. Why do I have to get cards like this? I hate reading these cards.
What is
Okay, so
it?
we're not reading this card and I'm done. No, I'm only kidding. So, uh, so when I'm saying creative, right? Like you got to get moving, things got to move around, right? But the card I pulled is a Five of Wands. So there might be some physical resistance in your life for you to move forward. And it seems as though it's coming from an outside source. And you may feel as though you're being deceived. This is a way to see that you're in conflict with self. And so it's going to take action, expressive action, for you to get out of the story that you're in. If there is physical, it doesn't seem as though there's physical combat in it. That's what I was looking for. But it is Leo season and you're looking for structure. And in your Gemini sun, that fives are about conflict, but they're also about faith. They're that middle ground. Keep in mind it's situational, so it isn't something that you have to live. It's something that you're choosing to work with. Okay. And in that, you're not meant to solve other people's stuff. You're meant to stay in your own lane, allow yourself to develop how you think, what you believe, and give yourself a lot of blessing toward that, right? This is a lot of fire energy and a Five of Wands, a lot of fire energy. So it's also cleansing. So maybe the people that you're having to or finding that you're drawn to have to create boundaries to where you feel safe in those conversations, that's very necessary for you. A lot of times you may set yourself aside and think, oh, it's okay. They don't mean that. They'll get over it. Geminis aren't normally like that anyway, but you'll set yourself aside in the moment and then you'll ruminate maybe about like how you want to show up the next time. And it really isn't your responsibility to show up any way other than how you want to show up to a conversation or to an experience. And really assessing, that's what I'm getting, really assessing and seeing how you feel in this. There's a lot of passion behind this decision. It might be in a partnership, and in this partnership, you guys are maybe, it's only situational that you're not getting along. It isn't like all the time. So, really breathing through it, stepping back, creating communication, especially during Mercury retrograde, that's going to be your best bet. Plus, the Five of Wands is a Leo card, and Mercury retrograde just went back into Leo. So everything is in illumination. All of your old behavior, all of your old, like the way that you talk to one another, however, all of it's coming up right now. And it's asking for structure, especially in this card. It's asking for you to restructure how you communicate, how you put your passionate nature across, what your expression is, but it's really calling you to be creative in that so that way you can get out of the what you would consider like strife,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the card. Many blessings. And here is Dupree. So he says, or Dupree says, hello, do my guides have a message for me? Thank you. Go right ahead, Miss Sarah.
Okay. Guys always have messages.
It's more like, are we listening?
Are we listening? Exactly. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. So
Oh,
this one's really great, looking at what you've were doing, like looking at all the things that you've done and kind of observing them and seeing where you need to go from there. And you're creating a new, you're planting seeds, you're starting something new, and you're looking at all the work that you've done and you're deciding where you want to go from there. So yeah, you're doing good. You put in a lot of work and a lot of effort. So I'm feeling like you're getting validation that the work that you've been putting in is going to be paying off. How does that sound, Lucinda?
I love it. I
Yeah.
think that's great. And I think that's all we have time for today. But I
Okay.
love that. And we'll be back next Tuesday and we'll just pull cards again. We love you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Yay!
Yay!